It's the return of Muddy Mount to the bridge as Chelsea look to register 3 points against Manchester United for the first time since 2017. Believe it or not, Chelsea are actually on an unbeaten run of 5 matches since our defeat to Liverpool in the Carabao Cup back in February. 3 wins and 2 draws in that time, scoring 14 goals, but also conceding 10. It's no secret that our defence has a serious leak as of late. The Blues have now conceded as many goals in the league as we did in all of last season. So, when Pochettino comes out and says things like, we're in a process, sure, I can take that. I can understand what that means. I can understand what he's trying to say. But when he insists that we're doing better than last season because we've been to Wembley again and lost, but we've been to Wembley again, it raises concerns over whether he actually believes what he's saying or whether he knows what happened last season. This time last season, Chelsea were 10th. We're currently 12th. In today's conference, he was quoted saying that we need to behave like Chelsea. Coming from a man who also said in the past that we are not the Chelsea of 5, 10, 15 years ago. Times have changed and this is a process. Trying to lower your expectations because it's not the same. It's a contradiction to say one day that we can't think like this anymore. It's a new Chelsea. It's a new beginning. Or be like this, be like that. But then to also come out and say that we must embody the personality almost of personalities and traits of years gone by. Make your mind up. Make your mind up. What is it? Are we Chelsea still old or are we Chelsea still, of new? Like, I don't understand what you're trying to make us believe at this point. He acknowledged that we are, of course, creating more, hence the amount of goals that we've been scoring as of late, but also at the same time that we are conceding far too many goals. But what is the issue? What is the cause of the goals? Individual errors? We've had plenty. We've had plenty of individual errors. You think of any of the individual errors, and then there's a few that for sure that pop up into your mind. Overall defensive ability, confidence, whereabouts and positioning. It seems that whilst being 28 games deep into the league, that we are no closer to the answer that we have been asking from the start. Let's just call it what it is. It's been the same from the beginning that it is now. Conceding 7 goals in our opening 3 games. Now to 6 in our last 3. It's only a goal less. We're in the same place we were from the start and no clearer on the issue. We were 10th after 3 games. We're now 12th after 28 and conceding just as many goals from game to game. Whilst it's obvious that there is clear talent throughout individually. As a team, there are instances where you think that there's something there, but overall, it's still as much of a mess as it has been over the last 2 seasons. It's a bit wishy-washy. We're not really understanding what's going on within the club. The pressing question still remains whether Pochettino is the man to lead this team to cohesion and brighter days. Do you think he is that guy to lead us back to the glory days once more? I personally don't see it happening. The idea that Poch is this guru for youth and brings out the best in them appears to have been a myth. In this season specifically, we have seen evidence to prove that that is a truth in Pochettino's career, but in his tenure so far at Stamford Bridge, it's been anything but. Half-time practically always ends in a dropping of heads, leading to a lack of composure and then the inevitability that is what happened against Burnley this past Saturday. It seemed as though many of us woke up thinking, surely not, surely not. And then even the worst case scenario, many of us didn't even see happening. You think that, we might lose, we might draw, this, that, and everything else, but to draw against a 10-man relegation battling Burnley, it honestly, it begs belief. And whilst many Whilst Pochettino himself may look to the fans and blame us for the support or lack thereof in times of uncertainty, what we as fans require is certainty. We require clarity. What exactly is going on? We feel so left out compared to the days of Roman, where it seemed like a lot was a lot clearer. But we feel so left out and in the dark in so many matters, namely the injury crisis. I said this in the last preview, but he said today that he does not know whether or not we will see Nkunku again this season. That's absurd. That is absolutely absurd. With 10 games remaining in the league, one against City, maybe an FA Cup final if we're lucky. A player that has registered just 318 minutes across 2 starts and 5 off the bench appearances. At this point, Nkunku is as elusive and frankly not to be considered a first-team player as of right now as the likes of Wesley Fofana and Romeo Lavia. Where are they? Where are they? We know they're injured. We know they're fucked for the rest of the season, but where are they? Fofana, namely. Where is the guy? What happened to cause this absolutely ridiculous amount of time away from the pitch? What is happening to Cobham? A place that was once praised in the early mid 2000s to the 2010s for its fitness programs and lack of injuries appears to have become almost a slaughterhouse for players. I don't understand anymore. I've never understood, but how can a place go from one extreme to the other? No injuries to see for many years, a lot of the time. Maybe 1 or 2 here and there, but the length of which these injuries are staying or reoccurring at the same time, I just don't understand. But with Nkunku, nothing seemed to have even be that bad, and obviously he injured himself in training again. But it's like I just don't understand how he's become so injured. And now we face United, a team as of now who by and large are starting to turn things around, but also still in a bit of a situation themselves, just 8 points clear of ourselves with 1 game more played in the league, with no European football next season being any sort of guarantee right now as they sit in 6th. Away form, a bit of a hit and miss situation for them this season. A loss to City in early March, followed by a draw to Brentford just the other day, where Mason Mount believed his 90th minute goal and first goal for the club would be the winner. It was not. 3 wins prior to those games, but prior to those, it was 4 games without a win away from home. So their away form shaky, to say the least. A real lack of consistency from United, all while scoring just 1 goal in those 4 games. In recent years, it's been much like the meetings with Liverpool. Draw after draw after draw. In fact, prior to our last 2 meetings in which United would win, breaking that streak of draws, it would be 5 straight draws between us and Manchester United. Our last victory against United in the league, as I mentioned at the start, coming back in 2017, Alvaro Morata, the goal scorer that day. Since then, 5 defeats and 7 draws in the league. We may have won a few in the FA Cup here and there, but, it is what it is. So a win here would be absolutely, and we've had a few instances like this season. We really have, where Pochettino has had a real chance to save face and to really build something here. Build some confidence. It would be absolutely mammoth for the confidence of both players, fans, and Pochettino in this situation, a result we have not seen from the last 5 managers. Sarri, Lampard, Tuchel, Lampard again, and of course, who else am I missing? Bruno. Who am I missing? There's someone else. I digress. Tuchel as well. Tuchel. Team news. How could I forget Tuchel? Team news. And well, no, Nkunku, but that said, we do have 4 returning players from injury. Chalobah, Chukwuemeka, Malagusto and Sanchez are all back in training. Ben Chilwell remains absent with the rest of the usual lot due to illness this time. Predictions-wise, hey, he has a taste for goals now. He scored the other day. And this is a crazy, crazy, crazy world we live in when it comes to Chelsea. When you think surely X can't happen, this thing can't happen, even for Chelsea. Like drawing in against a relegation battling 10-man Burnley side. Well, Chelsea just prove us wrong time and time again. And whilst they used to do it for positive reasons, it's now always seemingly negative, which is why it would just be so painfully obvious for Mount to bag a goal or an assist against us in this, his return to where it all began. We love a story, don't we? We love breaking records, don't we? When it is quite frankly against us. It's hard to predict a win in this scenario, Mason Mount aside or not. And as always, I get the strange feeling that we may just do it and then reality hits me again and again and again. I think it'll be a game full of goals and only one team coming out victorious. I'm just not quite sure who that team is going to be.